Hello and welcome to another evening of stock car racing here on Premier Sports, where tonight we're at the home of motorsport in Manchester, Belleview Stadium, on Bank Holiday Monday for the Brisca Formula Ones. Stuart Smith will once again be the target to shoot at after his long list of race wins in 2017, but Bellevue specialist Craig Finnegan will be a main man to watch, who on the last bank holiday here won the final and then took the Grand National from the lap handicap, the first time that feat has been achieved in several seasons. Very impressive action to come in remarkably better weather than we enjoyed last time here at Bellevue as we continue our journey around the UK with the Brisca Formula One stock cars. 3 heats coming up in the first half of our programme, with finals for the Brisca F1s and F2s in the second half, and the F1 Grand National to round off proceedings. Okay, here we go then with heat number 1. 18 cars on track for this one, including the world champion Frankie Wainman Jr. and his son Frankie Jr., Frankie JJ for short. Danny Wainman's out in this one as well. We've also got Craig Finnegan, Dan Johnson is in there as well, and Tom Harris. Some very impressive big names towards the back of the field. Of course, if you've not seen Brisca F1 before, the higher scorers from previous events start further back on the grid. In the highest grade, there are the Reds and Superstars. The red grade and Superstar grade start from the back. It's the white grade off the front, then yellow, then blue. Craig Finnegan there leading the red tops. There's the white grade off from the front, 483. That's Wayne Marshall in one of Matt Newson's higher cars, a newcomer this season, and Chris Smith in 332 alongside him, and then 348 John Wright. We've seen 1 or 2 good performances from him so far this year. There's 18 cars on track. This will be a 16-lap race to kick off the day here at Bellevue. Carl Roberts in 313 leading the yellows. Also loves this short but spectacular Shale Raceway. Away we go then with heat number 1, 483 Wayne Marshall. He's off. John Wright has spun already. The yellow grade all seem to want to tangle up there going into turn 1. Somebody else going into the fences, Frankie JJ in treble 5. John Wright has spun around. It's Wayne Marshall who leads the first lap ahead of Chris Smith. Oh no, he doesn't. He's gone into a marker tyre at turn 4 and the yellow flag has come out. The yellow flags are out. We've got cars spinning all over the place. Wayne Marshall's been collected there on turn 4. So the race is brought to a halt with Frankie JJ stranded facing the wrong way on turn 1. Okay, so the cars will be brought into order, single file, ready for the restarts. Well, we lost Wayne Marshall there on turn 4, so he's had to rejoin at the back by the look of things. It'll be Chris Smith in 332 in the orange car there, who leads them round. He's got James Morris behind him in 463, the man from Warrington in Cheshire, and 293 Elliott Smith in 3rd place. We get back underway with heat number 1. Slightly dusty conditions on this surprisingly warm bank holiday. Chris Smith's going to be taken out by James Morris into the first turn. They're all going off. Everybody in on the first turn, and only James Morris has escaped that. Chris Smith's in the fence. Ben Riley in 422. There's about half a dozen cars piled up there. We lose Geoff Gibson in 249. Well, who's come through that then? We've lost half the field, and Wainman's been spun out. The world champion, Junior Wainman, spun around by Billy Johnson on turn 4 there. Dan Johnson's up into 2nd place. He clips Chris Smith's stationary car. And all that's allowed James Morris to get way ahead in 463. He was the only one to escape that first turn schmozzle. Everybody else just piled in behind. Here's a replay from Frankie Wainman Jr. being spun around by Billy Johnson on turn 4. I think nearly everybody spun around the first lap of that restart. So it's James Morris who leads the way then. Car in the fence there on turn 4. I think that's one of the blue graders. Number 4 in 2nd place is Dan Johnson. He's come through well in the early stages. And it's Carl Roberts in 313 in 3rd. Now he's already had a couple of wins at Bellevue this season. Right on board with Frankie JJ, who's got going again. Carl Roberts' victories, though, came in slightly different conditions to this. The track was under about 3 feet of mud on the Bellevue season opener, and he's just been bumped up there by John Wright, who's fighting back from a lap down, I think, after he spun earlier on. So James Morris set fair at the front of the field in this one in 463. Tom Harris is reeling off the fastest laps, though, further back. It's Johnson, the European champion, in 2nd place, and Craig Finnegan has come through into 3rd. Danny Wainman in 212 is in 4th position. Then Frankie JJ is back up into 5th despite that early spin. John Wright is next, and Billy Johnson in 7th. So John Wright, in fact, is on the lead lap. There is Frankie Wainman Jr. fighting back up the order. He's a lap down after being spun out on the restart. Tom Harris fires Carl Roberts also in almost into the back of Wainman there on turns 3 and 4. I think the car in the fence there on turn 4 is Steve Whittle, 183 we've lost. We also lose Elliot Smith in 293 on turn 4. James Morris being reeled in slightly now by Dan Johnson in number 4 as we reach halfway in this first heat of the day here at Belleview for the Brisca Formula 1 stock cars. Sunny but slightly cool conditions here in Manchester. Anything's better than the conditions we saw earlier this year when the rains came. Number 1, the gold top, Frankie Waitman Jr. being reeled in by Tom Harris in number 84. They've had quite a rivalry over the last couple of seasons. Waitman now back up into 6th position, with Harris behind him in 7th. On board with Waitman, looking back at his rival in the 84 car. World final about 3 years ago, Tom Harris and Kings Lynn. Past the stranded car of Chris Smith, number 332. No Stuart Smith in this race, incidentally, because it's a 2/3 format today. Stuart Smith will race in the other 2 heats, each driver racing in 2 of the 3 heats here at Belleview today. Still your leader is James Morris, number 463. Johnson and Finnegan reeling him in. They go into turn 1 and Johnson's right with him now as they come out of turn 2 down the back straight. Is Johnson going to try and crack the bumper in, or is the Nottinghamshire driver going to wait until the last lap? He's got to be mindful though that Finnegan is there as well, and we know Craig Finnegan is a Belleview specialist, the man from Leek in Staffordshire. Last meeting here a couple of weeks ago, he won the final and then came through to win the Grand National from the lap handicap, and he's just taken 2nd place there from Dan Johnson. I believe that's the first time in about 6 or 7 years that a driver has won the Grand National. They've won the final and then gone on to win the Grand National from a lap down. Now the leader is caught in backmarker traffic here, including the world champion Junior Wayman and Carl Roberts. So James Morris is going to have to be very careful as he laps these two. We're coming into the last lap this time, and Finnegan is poised to pounce as we go into turns 1 and 2. Watch that 55 car. He's surely going to try and crack the bumper in here on the last bend. He's winding it up. Here we go into the last bend. Wallop, in goes the bumper. Up the inside, Finnegan's going to get the inside, and he's going to pinch the win on the run to the line. Craig Finnegan takes the win here in Heat 1 at Belleview. Mugs James Morris on the final turn with a textbook last bend lunge, and it looks like Dan Johnson dropped back in the closing stages. He may even have dropped out. We saw him slowing up with a couple of laps to go there, Dan Johnson, having run 2nd for most of the way, so we'll confirm who was 3rd in a moment. But that was a brilliant last bend lunge there from Craig Finnegan. We see it looking back from Waitman, and certainly did get walloped wide there, James Morris, by Craig Finnegan to snatch the win on the final turn. Cracking stock car racing from those two. Well, fair play to James Morris. He cleared off in front after that first turn pile up on the restart, but couldn't hold back Craig Finnegan there on the final bend, and it is Finnegan who takes the win by half a second ahead of Morris. It was Danny Wainman and Frankie JJ who took 3rd and 4th, with the world champion Frankie Wainman Jr. back in 7th place. 18 cars started that race, only 9 got to the finish. Dan Johnson was indeed a retirement.
55, Craig Finnegan, winner of Heat 1 here at Belleview today. Only just, yeah, but he just got a slight mistake on that last lap, and I just managed to get enough only to tap him wide, and hopefully he finished 2nd, which I think he did. So, but that was a good win, that was. You've had a busy week this week. You've been over into Blauwis in Holland racing in the King of Dirt, which you almost won.
No, we were getting there in the King of Dirt, and then unfortunately, with about 4 laps to go, I split a brake pipe, and I had to just drop back and finish 3rd in the end up, but at least we managed to finish.
And how did you find it racing over there compared to here?
A lot smoother than here, actually. We were racing in a field, but no, it was good. I really enjoyed it. Shall go again.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
The second heats for the Brisca F1s on track then. Some of these cars you'll have seen in Heat 1 and some you won't, with the 2/3 format being used. One you won't have seen is Stuart Smith, looking for yet another race win here. But Craig Finnegan is out once again, going for 2 out of 2. So is Tom Harris. Nigel Green is out there too in number 445. They could be the main players to watch from towards the back of the field. Carl Roberts is out there in 313. 34, Mal Brown, veteran campaigner from the blue grade, starts alongside Billy Johnson. Behind them, Scott Davids in 462. Fans' favourite Nigel Harry out there as well in 45 from the yellow grade. There is Stuart Smith on the outside in 390, starting next to Ben Riley in the 422 car on his local track. So about to get underway over 16 laps then, and 3:64, Robert Plant it is who leads them off, not of Led Zeppelin fame. And 4:22, Ben Riley has been spun out already as Stuart Smith breezes around the outside. Plant's going to be spun out on the first turn, so we've lost our early leader. John Wright just avoids him in 3:48. He's got the lead ahead of Jack France in the 2:16 car, son of Graham France, who raced under the same number. Carl Roberts attacking the third. Wright goes way wide out of turn 4 and has lost the lead. A couple of cars off on the inside there, including Tom Harris. He hits the inner tyres on turn 3. That's ruined his race, and Stuart Smith is already slicing his way past everybody. Nigel Harry spins in 45 at turn 1. It's John Wright who's got the lead ahead of Carl Roberts in 3:13. There goes the inside. Oh, goodness me. Big shunt there. They collected Tom Harris's stationary car. I suspect that will be a yellow flag. Carl Roberts and Jack France have crashed out there into Tom Harris's stationary car. They went head on into him, and the caution flags do come out. Well, that's going to help Stuart Smith, who's up there in second place already, and we're only on lap 3. He's gone from red grade into second place behind John Wright, just showing what total dominance he's got this season. Now, Tom Harris had spun there, and it was Carl Roberts, who was so busy battling Jack France, just didn't see him, and they smashed head on into the 84 car. The yellow's called just to check that everyone was okay. All the drivers are all right, and the track is now clear, so we're ready for a restart. 3:48, John Wright, XF2 racer, in the lead, ahead of 3:90 Stuart Smith, and 55 Craig Finnegan already is up into third place. So it's going to be those two fighting for the win there. Finnegan, though, very slow away on the restart. Looks like, yeah, he's in trouble. Finnegan has pulled off. That's allowed the first two to get well clear at the sharp end of this one. We've had a couple of messy restarts already today. That was caused by Craig Finnegan's car slowing suddenly, and he's not going to get the double. Nigel Harry, meanwhile, has tangled with France and Roberts. Chris Bonner facing the wrong way in 1:05. It's not a good day to be a yellow top, is it? 3:90 on the inside, then Stuart Smith is surely going to take the lead. He's just got this knack of finding gaps wherever he can, and he goes through the two cars rejoining there, Harry and Chris Bonner. Just found the gap between the two of them. Any other driver would probably have been held up there. Stuart Smith just has the luck all the time. 4:45, Nigel Green is up into third place, the Leicestershire driver. They're way ahead of the rest of the pack here in this heat number 2 on the Belleview shale. On board Matt Newson in car number 16, running a bit further down the order. Didn't have the best of starts in this one. Trying to make his way forward. Stuart Smith leads them. Green. John Wright still there in third place. Then we've got Danny Wakeman, Mal Brown. Newson is in 6th place, ahead of Billy Johnson in 1:69. Stuart Smith shoving his way through the yellow graders once again as he laps Jack France, nearly collects another spun car on the inside, but he manages to miss it. Everything just working in Stuart Smith's favour constantly this season, as Robert Plant has had another spin there in 3:64. There's Danny Wakeman in 2:12. Nigel Harry still going in 45. Smith heads the pack in 3:90. In the lead by lap 4. He's away and gone, as we've seen so many times already this season, but Nigel Green is there, just lurking a few car lengths back. To turns 3 and 4 they go. Carl Roberts lapping quickly a little further back. He's in third place in 3:13, I think. No, he's not. He's a lap down because he had that tangle earlier on. Apologies. There's Danny Wakeman in third, ahead of John Wright now. Billy Johnson's up to 5th, then Ben Riley, Mal Brown. Roberts is in 8th place, a lap down. We've lost Matt Newson. He's retired as a marker tyre gets pushed out onto the shale there at turns 3 and 4. Constant hazard here at Belleview, those big earth mover tyres. Certainly don't move very far when you hit them. Smith continues to lead, lapping Mal Brown, the Yorkshire farmer, in number 34. Quite a few farmers race in stock cars, the Meachell family, and also the great John London, of course. They're living from farming. Bonner being lapped in 1:05. The first two well clear, Smith and Green in 4:45. Green also an ex-F2 star, mainly on tarmac. Close to winning the Brisca F1 National Points Championship last year, and he's closing up now on Stuart Smith. This is a good drive by Nigel Green. Can he catch the flying 3:90? To turns 3 and 4 they come, avoiding that tyre on the outside line. Smith a little sideways there. Didn't overcook it though. 4 laps to go. Into turns 1 and 2. Green less than a car's length behind now as they go down the back straight. Could we see another late lunge here from Nigel Green to try and dislodge this year's dominator Stuart Smith? Green's just done the fastest lap of the race. There with back marker traffic there. Going to go round the outside, and Green delayed briefly behind the 348 of John Wright, who's still running in the top 10, but now a lap down. That's allowed Smith to pull away a little. Nigel Harry is still going. We haven't seen many race finishes from him. He's had a poor start to his season, but looking to improve here. Just trying to keep going, pick up a point perhaps. 364 Robert Plant pulling onto the centre. Leaders now lap Billy Johnson, Ben Riley in there as well. Stuart Smith still up front as we come round to start the final lap this time. Is Nigel Green going to get within range for a last spin lunge? Stuart Smith will be desperately trying to get Ben Riley out of the way here in 4.22. Another fastest lap from Nigel Green. That time through, is he going to lunge in on the final turn on the back of Stuart Smith? He's trying, he can't get close enough, and it's going to be yet another win in 2017 for Stuart Smith in 3.90. Nigel Green in second place, well back in third I think it's Danny Wainman in the 2.12 car. He's about 3/4 of a lap behind. Well, we may only be up to the beginning of May, but I've already lost count of the number of wins Stuart Smith has taken this year. Just so dominant on both tarmac and shale. Smith the winner by 3/4 of a second ahead of Nigel Green. Danny Wainman in third, and Ben Riley a lap down in fourth place. Such was the pace of the leaders. Only 3 cars finished on the lead lap. Credit to Nigel Harry as well, who gets a finish in 10th place.
390 Stuart Smith, another meeting, another win.
Yeah, good heat win there. It was a bit of a tricky track tonight, today. It's really rutty. I think it's with the temperature, you know, the sun and everything. It's sort of gone down to the pebbles, so there's really no grip at all. Tricky what to do with the setup of the car, but I'm hoping that we'll get better as the day goes on, because I don't think I was just good enough then, but who knows, eh?
It looked like you had a bit of an issue with an outside rear tyre as well. Nigel nearly got you.
Yeah, again, it's like the first meeting all over again, isn't it? It's we're going down ever so slowly. I could feel it a little bit softer on the outside rear, so maybe that was affecting my handling. I'm sure it was, but I think we still need to just get that little bit more out of the car.
Well, best of luck for the final.
Thank you.
Cars on track then for heats number 3, a slightly smaller field of 14 cars for this one. All these drivers in their second race of the day. Stuart Smith going for his second win. The world champion is out there, Frankie Wainman Jr. and his son Frankie JJ. So out we've got Nigel Green, Dan Johnson and Matt Newson in there as well. Matt Newson using the Mark Sargent car this weekend. So won a final in that car last weekend at Sheffield. Having experienced a few teething problems with his own car that he's been using so far this year. We're on board with Mal Brown in number 34, the veteran blue grader. This will be a 16-lap race, 14 cars out there on track. Wayne Marshall and Chris Smith, along with Robert Plant, leading them away. The 3 white graders, we head round towards turns 3 and 4. The green flag drops, and away we go. Mal Brown gets his foot down. The back of the car tries to come round. A lot of experience, plenty of good car control there from Mal as he closes up on the yellow graders. Frankie JJ gets sent out wide by Stuart Smith as we get underway with this heat number 3. Plant leads them off in 3.64 ahead of Wayne Marshall. Chris Smith slowing up there though in 3.32. It's Plant who leads the way as they complete the first lap. Wayne Marshall attacking him, and Plant's going to be spun around. Round he goes. So Wayne Marshall in the car hired from Matt Newson leads the way ahead of 4.63 of James Morris in second place. He punts Marshall aside there going into turn 3. Oh, he's got crossed up, and out goes the 4.63, so we're not going to see a repeat of his heroics from heat number 1. Okay, that's put Marshall back ahead then in 4.83 as bumpers going in everywhere, and Wallop straight in goes 2.49. Geoff Gibson, courtesy of Nigel Harry in the 45. That's delayed the world champion, and round goes Marshall, flicked aside there by Dan Johnson, who is in the lead by the end of lap 3. So all the lower graders seem to have self-destructed there in this heat number 3, and already on lap 4 we've got Dan Johnson, up front. Matt Newson having a go at Stuart Smith for second place. Well, he flicked Wayne Marshall aside there, the race leader Dan Johnson. Wayne's in the fence going into turn 3. It's the European champion up front in number 4, Dan Johnson from Worksop in Nottinghamshire. Through to second comes Matt Newson in number 16. He's taken Stuart Smith out wide. It looks like the number 1 has got through there as well of Junior Wainman. That's all happening there in this heat number 3, the higher graders well up at the front. Scott Davids in there too in number 462. We haven't seen much of him so far this season. Matt Newson in number 16 at the wheel of Mark Sargent's Shale car. Borrowed it for the meeting at Sheffield recently and probably won his first final for some time, so he's using it again here today. He's ahead of Scott Davids, the blue grader. As round goes Rob Plant in 364. He's been gyrating all over the place all day, learning his craft. A newcomer to Brisca F1. There's Smith and Wainman together, but it's Johnson out front in number 4. A twice European champion. Pulling away at the front now. That's a B390 of Stuart Smith coming under fire from number 1, Junior Wainman. Johnson the leads from Newson, Davids, Mal Brown still there in 4th place. Stuart Smith battling with Wainman for 5th. So Stuart Smith not getting his break at the start of this one, as we saw in Heat 2. They've caught Mal Brown now in number 34. White grader slowing there on the inside as Junior Wainman will attack Stuart Smith. He's got recovering James Morris up behind him in 463, I think that is. He passed Wayne Marshall in 483, also recovering from a trip into the fence. Wainman up the inside there trying to take Stuart Smith. The afternoon light starting to fade now here at Belleview as we race on into the evening. And Johnson continues to lead. Fastest lap of the race recorded by Scott Davids. He's still up there fighting for 3rd place. It's Newson in 2nd. They're well ahead of the rest, the top 2. Or with Frankie JJ looking back in treble 5. He's battling further down the order. He's got Nigel Harry up behind him in the 45 car. They're battling for around 8th place. Johnson still leads it from Newson. Down into turn 3 they come. Johnson going clear in the number 4. Won the British title as well in the past. Won almost everything but the world title in the last few years. Maybe this will be Dan's year. Davids on the attack on the back of Newson. Stuart Smith at the fastest lap of the race is in 4th place. He's shaken off the attentions of the world champion now, and he's on a charge up towards the sharp end of the field. I think he's going to run out of time to catch the top 2 in this one though, because there's only a couple of laps to go now for Dan Johnson in car number 4. We haven't seen much of him in the early stages of this season, but he's back and back with a vengeance here at Bellevue today. 2 laps to go. He's got Matt Newson chasing him, and they're well ahead of the rest of the field. Down the back straight go the 2 leaders. Matt Newson has done the fastest lap of the race, so he's pushing hard, trying to catch Dan Johnson on the final lap. Could we see a last bend lunge here? Is Newson going to get within range, or is a white top out of shape in front of the Rob Plant? He doesn't quite get in the way. So down towards the final turn they come. Is Newson going to attack from there? Yes, he is. In goes the bumper. They both go out towards the fence. Newson is the first to gather it up, and he's going to cross the line in 1st place. Newson wins it. What a move on the last bend there by Matt Newson. Johnson recovering for, I think, 2nd place ahead of Stuart Smith in 3rd. Confirm the rest of the results in a moment. I think Scott Davids got 4th, but that was a great move, superbly judged by Matt Newson. Slammed into Johnson over the rear wheel. He attacked from way back there on the final bend. It looked like the 2 had tangled up and were heading for the fence, but Newson lifted off the throttle, turned sideways, applied power to the rear wheels and got out of there first, and was able to cross the line to take the win. That is superb stock car racing from Matt Newson. He takes the win ahead of Dan Johnson, recovering for 2nd, then Smith, Davids and the world champion Wainman rounding out the top 5. 11 cars went the distance in that one, with Nigel Harry, Rob Plant and Wayne Marshall completing the finishes.
Number 16, Matt Newson, winner of Heat 3 at Bellevue in the Mark Sargent car and going well.
Yeah, I think that's the 3rd win I've had in it now in like 4 meetings. It's going really well.
As Sarge says, it's fast. He says a bit more than that,
yeah.
But you're doing better than he did in it.
Yeah, I don't like to say that. I don't like to say no. To be fair, I think Mark always knew it. And to be fair, Mark's been doing well in it. The last race he did, he won whites and yellows and that. So to be fair, you know, Mark knows that the car's good, and I drive with a bit more venom than Mark does. But yeah, he's all right. He takes it well.
And the track looked a bit difficult out there as well, very dry and very rough.
To be fair, the track's not very good at all, but it's the same for everyone, so I suppose just go with it.
Same again in the final.
Well, let's hope so, we'll see. Thank you.
More great action coming up from here at Bellevue after this short break on Premier Sports. Don't go away. Welcome back to the home of motorsport in Manchester here at Belleview Stadium on Premier Sports, getting ready for the finals on this Bank Holiday Monday. Some superb action from the Brisca F1s so far. We now turn our attention to the Brisca Formula 2s. Two heats earlier on, one by 108 John Riley and number 13 Andy Ford, with 728 Carl Pilkington winning the consolation. There are just under 30 cars out there for this meeting final, which will be contested over 20 laps. Big names towards the back of the grid, as you can see. The Mitchell brothers are out there. Chris in 219, Rob in 905, Michael Lund in 995, 49 Paul Prest, who came so close to winning the English Open recently at Stoke, was beaten by Josh Coleman. It's 755 Stuart Simpson and 369 of Mick Ford on the front row of the grid. 770 Jay Lamb is there. 819 alongside him is Neil Cope. So drivers of all abilities and backgrounds in this Brisca Formula 2 feature final. The biggest grid we've seen so far today by some margin. We are underway with the feature final. Away they go, Stuart Simpson up front in the 755 car. They'll jockey for position behind. Are they all going to make it round? Daz Shaw at 377 at the head of the blue graders. 788 Steve Ballinson gets pushed aside. One car has come to grief there on the outside of turn 2, and Andy Ford spins in number 13, and he's tangled with John Riley in 108. So both the heat winners, the two yellow tops, in trouble there. Unusual seeing Andy Ford down at yellow grade. Not had the best of starts to his season. 49 Paul Prest there, under 5 from 735, that's Mick Howarth. And Stuart Simpson is clear out in front in the 755 car. 578 Mark Gibbs on the attack as they come round turns 3 and 4, 3 and 4 abreast there as well. On a freshly watered track here at Belleview, one car going off to the inside there, he rejoins. Daz Shaw gets forced wide on turn 2, nearly into the fence. John Riley gets caught up with Jake Walker in the 298 car. Has had a decent start to his season on the shale. Somebody spun at turn 2 there, I think that was Billy Webster in 226, and I think 755 has lost the lead. Looks like Mickey Branston in 741 has taken over. Pick that up in just a moment. There's Mark Gibbs in 578, has upgraded from yellow to red this season so far. 59 of Lee Dimmick up there with the leaders as well, and Paul Prest in the 49. Confirmation it is. Luke Branston now leading in 741 ahead of Stuart Simpson. Mick Ford in third, then Lee Dimmick leading blue top in fourth place. The second blue top in fourth place. This is the blue top leading the way. Apologies there. Slapping Michael Wallbank in 524. It's Luke Branston up front. We've got a couple of cars who've tangled on turn 4 there. A couple of white graders, I think. And Branston drops behind Michael Wallbank there. I think has just unlapped himself. He got caught up early on. Going in there at turn 1. Courtney Finnegan, one of the few lady racers in Brisca F2 involved there in the 55 car, trying to get the bumper in on a few red tops. The caution flag is out. The caution flag out because of that tangle down there on turn 4. So 2 white tops have gone off. The 819 car is one of them, and the other is 770 of Jay Lamb. So Jay Lamb and Neil Cope, the 2 cars that had tangled there. We get ready for the restart then with 741 Mick Branston up front. 59 Lee Dimmick is in second place, and 905 Rob Mitchell in third. It's a blue grade 1-2 then, as they head round very steadily towards the green flag. They're away once again, then the green is down from the starters rostrum, and into that first turn they go. Luke Branston, son of Mick Branston, leads the way, not for long, because down the inside Lee Dimmick takes over in car number 59. Lee Dimmick, whose family raced for many years at Crewe Stadium, the Earl Street Stadium, closed in the 1990s, the fastest shale track in the country by far. 59 Lee Dimmick, who takes over the lead. Rob Mitchell trying to go through for second into turn 1, and he's done it. Fourth is Paul Prest in 49. Luke Branston goes down to third. Down the back straight they go. Branston closing up on Mitchell. Michael Wallbank on a recovery drive has just done the fastest lap of the race, further back in the order. Midfield heads around turns 3 and 4. John Riley in the middle of them there in 1:08. Won a heat earlier on, but spun early in this fight. It's 59 Lee Dimmick who leads. Rob Mitchell trying to reel him in 9:05. The rest of the order, it's still Branston in third place. Then we've got Prest. Looks like Sam Wagner next in the order in 8:23, the man from the northeast, to reach halfway in this Brisca F2 final. Jake Walker with the new fastest lap of the race in 2:9.8. He's just behind this leading bunch. Car stranded there on the outside of turn 2 as Mitchell leads from Dimmick, Branston, Wagner, Prest, Courtney Finnegan, Jake Walker, Stephen Mallinson, Chris Mitchell and Michael Lund rounds out the top 10. Rob Mitchell attacking for the lead as they come round turns 3 and 4. Can he get up the inside? Not quite. He'll try again, I'm sure, into turn 1. Goes up the inside. He's going to take the lead this time. 9:05. Rob Mitchell dodges the back markers and takes the lead from Lee Dimmick, who fights back immediately with the bumper, but I thought I saw a yellow flag there going into turn 3. Yes, the leaders slow up. We're under caution once again, just after Rob Mitchell had taken the lead. We've got a couple of cars stranded on turn 2. One of them is Ian Mallinson in number 388. There's a couple more cars off there on the outside of turn 2. The hazards are now cleared and we're ready for a restart. This race hotting up as it goes on, with Rob Mitchell battling Lee Dimmick for the lead. Dimmick, who began his career at Hensford Raceway on the tarmac racing mini stocks. He's raced Rebels, he's raced Brisca F1 briefly as well. While 9:05 Rob Mitchell has raced F2s on shale for many seasons now. Away we go with the restart. 9:05 Rob Mitchell, your race leader, with 8 laps to go into that first turn. Dimmick attacks down the inside. Branston still there in third ahead of Wagner and Paul Prest in the 49. Mitchell with the lead, Dimmick sizing him up as they go into turn 3, tries to go for the inside. It's getting dusty out there once again despite the earlier watering on this very warm bank holiday Monday. As in goes the bumper from Lee Dimmick. He's going to go through up the inside in 59, retakes the lead from Rob Mitchell, avoids a pair of red tops there as they lap them down the back straight. Mitchell trying to line up, but he's been attacked in turn there into turn 3. This car's going everywhere. Branston has gone. 741 Luke Branston spins out. So it's Rob Mitchell and Lee Dimmick still fighting away tooth and nail for the lead. Mike Wallbank in behind them, and he's a lap down. It's Paul Prest now in third place with the demise of Luke Branston. In goes the bumper again from Rob Mitchell as we go into turn 3. They're side by side as they come down the home straight. Mitchell's going to be on the inside for turn 1. Surely he will retake the lead. Dimmick goes out wide. Mitchell back in front. Terrific fight between these two. Dimmick all set to lunge in once again. Is he going to get contact into turn 3? No, he's not. Rob Mitchell still there in front. Superb racing from the Brisca F2s here at Belleview Stadium. Further back in the order is Paul Prest in third with Sam Wagner on his tail, and Lee Dimmick will try again as they go into turn 3. Connects on the back of Rob Mitchell. They both run out wide. The rest of the pack could get at the inside. No, Dimmick takes the lead in 59. How many lead changes have we had now between these two? At least 4 or 5. Third place is Prest. He's attacking 9:05 of Rob Mitchell now. Paul Prest in 49 moves to the inside. Just behind him, it is Sam Wagner. Prest going to bumper both the leaders out wide. They're going to be 3 wide as they come through turn 4. Dimmick goes back to third place. Somehow Mitchell has held his lead. Prest up into second place. Dimmick is in third place. He's got Wagner on his tail. Then Jake Walker, where's he come from in 2:98? Mitchell gets railroaded out wide by Prest, and I think that's given Wagner the lead in 8:23. It has then 5 of them all over each other. They come into turn 4. We're going to spinner. That's Dimmick. Dimmick has gone. Lee Dimmick spins out of the lead battle in 59. So it's 8:23 of Sam Wagner. Jake Walker up into second place. Rob Mitchell got shoved out wide last time through turn 2, and he's gone from first to fourth. He's back up into third now. Branston is back up there in 7:41. What a terrific race here from the Formula 2s. We're into the last lap. Oh, it's between these two now. That's the 8:23 of Sam Wagner, the 2:98 of Jake Walker. They've appeared at the front, and it's the man from Middlesbrough, 8:23 Sam Wagner, around the final turn. He's going to win the Formula 2 final here at Belleview. He takes the flag ahead of Jake Walker, and we'll wait to see who came in third there. But that was a terrific race. 5 of them scrapping for the lead at one point. Commiserations to Lee Dimmick, who was fighting so hard for the lead with Rob Mitchell. He eventually spun out. But Sam Wagner it is in 8:23 who takes the win. That was magnificent racing. Absolutely superb Formula 2 stock car racing at its very, very best here on the Belleview Shale. The win going to Sam Wagner ahead of Walker, Mitchell, Mark Gibbs coming through for 4th, Luke Branston recovering from a spin for 5th. Commiserations to Lee Dimmick. He ended up down in 12th place. Superb racing. Well done, Sam Wagner. Let's see if the Formula 1 boys can match that then for entertainment. 24 cars out on track for their meeting final, racing over 20 laps. Heats won by Craig Finnegan, Stuart Smith and Matt Newson. They're all out there along with Nigel Green, Tom Harris, Dan Johnson. The 3 Waynemans are in there as well. 24 cars in total out on track. Biggest grid so far today for the Brisca Formula 1 stock cars. There's Tom Harris lining up alongside Danny Wayman, another freshly watered track. It is getting a little bit bumpy out there as well as the track wears away. Mixed conditions over the last couple of days here in Manchester not helping. So around they come towards the green flag then, our feature event of the day, the Brisca Formula 1 final. There is the world champion, the gold roof glinting in the sunsets. Robert Planted 364, 348 of John Wright will lead them away. We're underway with the Brisca Formula 1 final. It's Wright who goes to the inside into turn 1, and he'll take the early lead. Coming through the second, Chris Smith in at number 332. Jack France having a go at Carl Roberts there around the first turn. Now, are they all going to get round? Stuart Smith being sent wide early on there, but it's John Wright who's got the lead in 348. There's the first to spin, 313 of Carl Roberts. Jack France has gone as well, everybody going wide to miss them. Geoff Gibson bashes into them. Another car off on the inside. Danny Wayman tangling up with Dan Johnson in number 4. Frankie JJ and Matt Newson caught there as well. They're all stuck on the outside of the fourth bend. A bit of a traffic jam there. So it's John Wright who's got the early lead. Is he going to get through this lot? Only just. Another car being spun out there. 483 of Wayne Marshall getting caught up with Nigel Harry. 348 of Wright who leads the way. It looks like it's Frankie JJ in behind him in treble 5, and I think he's a lap down from that contretemps on turn 4. Long way to go yet though in this meeting final. Chris Smith is stuck on turn 4. We've got a couple more cars off there, and they're nicely hooked up, trying to free themselves, and caution is going to have to come out. Ben Riley is one of those cars stuck there facing the wrong way on the home straight. I can't quite see who the other one is. 348 John Wright, your leader. And the car's just going everywhere on turn 4 all the way through that one. Eventually the pile-up got a bit too much. Geoff Gibson is one of those stuck there on the exit of turn 4. So your leader is 348 of John Wright. We're on lap 4. Treble 5 behind him. Frankie JJ, I think, is a lap down. Carl Roberts likewise. He was one of the first to get spun out in that turn 4 melee. Danny Wayman in behind them, he's a lap down as well in 212, so the leader with quite a cushion here. Tom Harris on the attack right from the off, and why wouldn't he be? He's got Stuart Smith on his tail in 390, looking for yet another final win here on Premier Sports. Away we go once again with the restarts. Some help the higher graders to move up. Stuart Smith, well, nearly hit the fence there coming out of turn 2. He bounced off somebody, we couldn't see who from our onboard camera. Back underway. John Wright still leading the way in 348. Good run so far by the white grader into his 5th lap. Scott Davids in 462 ahead of him. Now, can he build up enough of an advantage here over the higher graders as they were all delayed early on in the melee on turn 4? Split the pack up slightly. Wright slides out of it wide, he's crossed up there, so the order is now Wright. Finnegan is up into 2nd place and Stuart Smith 3rd. So the higher graders have managed to get through, or some of them. We have lost though Matt Newson, Dan Johnson and Nigel Green. They are all out of the race at this early stage. We're on board with the world champion looking back down the home straights. He's up there in the top 5 already. Craig Finnegan and Stuart Smith leading the chase though of our race leader John Wright. They're catching him out of turn 4. Finnegan could be poised to make a move here as they go into turn 1. There's a few back marks there of them, and Finnegan up the inside. He does take the lead away from 348 of John Wright. So Craig Finnegan, the man from Leek in North Staffordshire, leads, and Stuart Smith using John Wright as a cue ball there to try and smash the race leader Craig Finnegan wide. Work though, and Smith remains in 2nd place. Out goes Chris Smith at turn 1 in 332 into the fence. So it's now Finnegan, Stuart Smith, Wright, Harris, Junior Wayman and James Morris in 6th position. 55 Craig Finnegan looking for his 2nd Belleview final win in a row. Leads from Stuart Smith. They're lapping the 220 car of Will Hunter. John Wright still there in the top 3 in 348. He's running well, despite having lost the lead. Tom Harris has now gone through into 3rd, in fact. So it's Tom Harris, the 2013 world champion, in 3rd. The 2014 world champion Craig Finnegan is leading, and the 2007 world champion Stuart Smith in 2nd place. Harris closing on in those. So the better showing from Tom Harris. Ironed out the teething problems with his new car for 2017. Chasing now our second placeman Stuart Smith. Craig Finnegan starting to get away in the 55 car. Could he repeat his feat of final at Grand National done? Amazing feat if he can. Very rarely seen in Brisca F1. Especially with how evenly matched the cars are these days. First three have broken away. It's Junior Wayman in fourth place in the number one as we go up towards three-quarter distance. Danny Wayman has done the fastest lap of the race, but he is a lap down. He spun in the early chaos on turn 4. All the action seems to be on turn 4 in this race. We've seen Nigel Harry have a spin there as well. But there is Danny Wayman. Despite his quick laps, he is about to fall behind our race leader, 55, Craig Finnegan. It's Finnegan who leads from Smith, Harris, Junior Wayman, Wright, James Morris, Ral Brown. Rob Plant still going well in 8th place, the white grader, ahead of Will Hunter and Geoff Gibson. Charge their way around, it's getting a bit dusty out there now. Still leading the way, Craig Finnegan in number 55. Plant's a bit out of shape there on turns 1 and 2, learning all the time. Got the speed, just needs to tidy up his handling a little. Tom Harris now closing up on Stuart Smith. Could he snatch second place here? 390 car. Has Stuart Smith met his match for 2017 in the shape of Craig Finnegan? Certainly at Belleview he has. Lost Will Hunter, he's pulled up on turn 4. The last couple of laps coming up then in this meeting final here at Belleview with Craig Finnegan just under a second clear of Stuart Smith and Tom Harris at the front. John Wright still up there in the top 5, the white grader running well, having led the first 7 laps. Impressive stuff from the Formula 2 graduate. It's Craig Finnegan. So the entire family has raced over the years. Leads the way. Nigel Harry collects the spinning Jack France there on turn 1. Finnegan charges past one of the back markers there, gets him out of the way. I think that was Danny Wayman in 2-1-2 as we enter the final lap of this meeting final. Danny Wayman certainly trying his hardest to hang on there and perhaps finish on the lead lap. But Finnegan and Smith are having none of it. They come down to the final turn. Stuart Smith is not going to get close enough, and it's going to be a second Belleview final win in a row for Craig Finnegan. He takes the flag. Stuart Smith is beaten. A rare sight on Premier Sports this season. He takes second place, and Tom Harris will complete the podium ahead of, I think it's Junior Wayman in fourth place. We'll confirm the rest of the results in a moment. No mistaking the winner though, 55, Craig Finnegan, who bangs wheels with Stuart Smith there in celebration. Well done, Craig Finnegan. Stuart Smith is well beaten in today's meeting final here at Belleview. The Bellevue specialist takes the win ahead of Stuart Smith, Tom Harris, Wayman and John Wright well up there in 5th position. Good stuff from him. Total of 15 drivers went the distance in that one. It was Danny Wayman, despite finishing a lap down in 8th, who got the fastest lap.
55, Craig Finnegan, final winner on a very fast race.
Very fast, yeah. It was a bit hectic at the start, and lucky enough I managed to keep all 4 wheels on and keep going.
It was quite a good battle between all the star drivers at the end, but you were the one who got through and away you went.
Yeah, luckily enough, but I did actually think Danny Wayman was winning it, and then I found out after he was a lap down, but I was just sat happy behind him. But then Stuart was coming a bit closer. I just moved Danny away and got on with it again.
Yeah, it looked like you had it all under control though.
Not too bad. Try again.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Another freshly watered track for our last Brisca F1 race of the day, the Grand National. Not the last race of the programme though, we have got a little bit of bonus content for you after the GN. There are 20 cars out on track though for this one. Craig Finnegan though is not among them, so we don't have the final winner off the lap handicap. We do have Stuart Smith, we do have the world champion Junior Wayman, we've got all 3 of the Waymans out there once again. Dan Johnson, Matt Newson is in there as well. Tom Harris too in 84. So getting ready for 16 laps then for this Brisca F1 Grand National. Is it going to be another win for Stuart Smith? John Wright leading them off along with Robert Plant. Could we see John hang on in front this time? A fine 5th in today's meeting final. Wayne Marshall behind him in 4.83. So here we go then, we're underway with our last Brisca F1 race of the day. John Wright leads them off in car 348 down into the first turn they go. Are they all going to make it round? Carl Roberts heads the yellow tops in 313. Billy Johnson being taken sideways by 249. of Geoff Gibson. 220 there, Will Hunter slowing up as Plant gets spun aside by Marshall. Round goes Chris Smith as well in 3.32. Everybody going to be able to dodge him? I think only just. Nigel Harrier slowed up there in 45. He nearly tangled with Mal Brown, and we lose a couple of red tops at the back. It's 3.482 leads the way. John Wright, Dan Johnson on the move. He's the first of these star names, along with Stuart Smith. And it goes without saying that he's already up there in the places. It's Wright who leads the way. It's like in second place is still Wayne Marshall. James Morris in third. Stuart Smith, though, is already up to fourth. He's ahead of Carl Roberts. Dan Johnson in there behind him. Johnson gets sideways. He's going to be tipped sideways into the inner tyres coming off turn 2. So that's ruined Dan Johnson's chances in this Grand National. Smith trying to chase down James Morris. To push and shove there on turn 4. I think Geoff Gibson was involved there in 2.49. It's still leading the way, 3.48 of John Wright. Mike Rader setting a good pace up front. Race settles down now. Wright coming up to lap a couple of back markers. Chris Smith is in the fence on turn 2. Jack France rejoins and probably spins again on the inside of turn 2, spinning like a top there as we look back from Stuart Smith. Modelling up the places from the back once again, looking for his second win of the day. Our Heat 2 winner, beaten in his other 2 races today, a rare occurrence in 2017. Under attack, the race leader from Frankie JJ in treble 5, and he's going to be taken out. They've tangled with Billy Johnson. The leader got stuffed into Billy Johnson there by Frankie JJ, and I think that may have handed Stuart Smith the lead. Frankie JJ gets going again, but John Wright stuck in there along with Billy Johnson. It is now Stuart Smith who has got the lead. Great shame there for John Wright. Got some bumper from Frankie JJ in treble 5, but he went into the back of Billy Johnson. They spun out into the fence. Wright has got going again, but it's Smith up front now. Wayne Marshall going well in second place as Chris Smith gets deposited by Robert Plant on turn 3. So Smith leads the way now. Matt Newson's up there towards the front in at number 16 as well. He's chasing Junior Wainman and Dan Johnson. Johnson was delayed earlier on, of course. So Smith with the lead. Stuart Smith, that is, in 3.90. They go up towards half distance. The Union flag is out to signal halfway. Into his 9th lap goes Stuart Smith. Looks like it could well be Junior Wainman up into second place. We'll check the positions in just a moment. We race into the sunset here at Belleview Stadium. Johnson under fire from Junior Wainman. Down into turn 1 they go. We've lost Carl Roberts there on turn 1. He's out. It is Junior Wainman second, Matt Newson in third. That means Dan Johnson is a lap down. Danny Wainman is fourth, then Geoff Gibson and Wayne Marshall still going well in 6th place, newcomer this year. Dan Johnson a lap down. We saw him spin on turn 2 earlier after contact with one of the yellow tops. We've lost Robert Plant on turn 2 as well. But away goes Stuart Smith. He's well clear. Wainman in second, then Matt Newson. Those 3 well ahead of the rest now. That's going in there. Johnson on the back of Wainman. He may be a lap down, Dan Johnson, but he likes to have a good scrap with his rivals on top of the sport. Wainman gets his foot down, pulls away down the home straight, leaving Johnson to the mercy of Matt Newson. They're all well behind Stuart Smith. Newson leading the fight for third. The fastest lap of the race by Stuart Smith, and now Newson attacks Johnson. Down the home straight they go. There's 3 laps to run. And Newson to the inside of the number 4 of Dan Johnson. We ride on board with Matt Newson. His living by hiring out his fleet of Brisca F1s to new drivers. He's gone out wide there, I think, Matt Newson. I think he's might have popped a tyre there, the 16 car, with the contact with Dan Johnson. Keep an eye on that, racing the Mark Sargent car today, as we mentioned earlier. He's still going. Now I think he's been spun aside in there. Yes, he's tangled with Johnson. I thought he'd got a puncture earlier on, but no, that's ruined Johnson's chances. John Wright spins out there as well, ruined Newson's chances, I should say. It is going to be a win for 3.90 of Stuart Smith. Here he comes around the final turn for his second win of the day. He takes the Grand National, well clear of his opposition. Wait to see who comes home in second. Looks like it's going to be Junior Wainman in number 1, and we'll confirm the rest of the places very shortly. So total dominance once again from Stuart Smith in 3.90. making up for his defeat by Craig Finnegan in the final. Craig Finnegan not taking part in today's Grand National. So Smith taking the win then by nearly 3 seconds ahead of Frankie Wainman and Danny Wainman second and third. Geoff Gibson a good fourth and Tom Harris in fifth. Well done Wayne Marshall for a top 10 in the 483 car as 15 of the 20 starters went the distance. Matt Newson spinning down to 8th after contact with Dan Johnson.
390 Stuart Smith, winner of the Grand National. A bit dusty out there.
Yeah, a bit dusty, yeah. It's quite fun to race. The track's a rough and ready track, let's say. But yeah, I mean, that were really good fun for me. In the final, the car was just off, really. Just couldn't catch Craig. We'd had some shocker problems. The tops had come off and the car was sat really low at the back. So I think that really harmed it because we got it right for that race and the car felt as though it was on rails. I was really, really comfortable with it.
And that was your last one from Star, obviously Superstar now. That's not going to bother you?
No, not at all. No, it's better fun for me, you know. I can hit the people that matter instead of blue top straight away.
Well, we'll look forward to that. Thank you.
Thank you.
Well, we said we had a bit of bonus content for you here at Belleview today, and we're going to right one of the wrongs of British motoring. If you've ever been stuck behind a caravan while you're out on the road, well, Belleview's banger drivers are going to take revenge on your behalf by smashing a few of them up in the name of entertainment here on the Belleview Shale. 132, Connor Dando leads the Caravan race away. He's got Paul Manning in 1-2-3 in behind him as they get underway. We've got about half a dozen Caravans out there. There goes Ian Bishop's Caravan. That's come off his car already. There's a Toyota Previa towing a Caravan. That sheds its bodywork fairly quickly. I think that might be Jake Calvert at the wheel of the big Toyota there. Ian Bishop in 68 is the man who's lost his Caravan altogether. So it's Paul Manning, Connor Dando who set the pace, and Michaela Teal in the all-pink machine there. She normally competes in the ladies' bangers. There's the big Toyota Previa. Behind him, Liam Cooley in number 919. Trying to take the door closed there, but it doesn't work as the Previa crashes through that body shell there. A shower of fiberglass and foam all over the raceway. There goes Liam Cooley's Caravan flying off the chassis. The chassis must stay on the car, otherwise you don't count in the result. Ian Bishop's rejoined. He's lost his chassis altogether, but he takes out Liam Cooley. Now we lose Michaela Teal and Paul Manning into the fence on turns 1 and 2. Oh dear, oh dear. That's given Connor Dando the lead back. He drives over the wreckage there at turns 1 and 2. This is brilliant. Connor Dando, ex-junior banger racer, under fire from 1-2-3 of Paul Manning. The bodywork nearly goes there. Paul Manning's Caravan up onto one wheel. His bodywork hasn't got long left either. He's got Michaela Teal chasing after him, trying to rip his Caravan to shreds. Yep, there it goes as we go down the home straight. There goes the body shell. Paul Manning continues just with the trailer on. He's got Connor Dando ahead of him. His bodywork has sort of dropped down, look, on the chassis there. That's the new low-line Caravan design. Does it help with the aerodynamics, I wonder? Still Connor Dando in the Honda Civic that leads the way. The earlier model Civic of Paul Manning chasing. Michaela Teal, I think that's a Ford Escort that she's driving. This is great stuff. Good bit of light entertainment as Paul Manning smashes straight. Oh, and he's got the roof of a Caravan over the front of his car. He's now blinded. He's not slowing him down. Look at this. Down the back straight. Paul Manning completely blind, but he keeps it going. There goes Connor Dando's body shell. That's down to its chassis now. I think the only Caravan still intact is that one of Ian Bishop's that's sitting at turn 3. No doubt a target for later on. Look at the state of the Belleview Shaleway. It's a good job this is the last race of the day. The marshals are going to spend the next week clearing this up. Through comes Liam Cooley. He blinds himself, picks up the roof of, I think that might be his own Caravan he's gone under there. So Liam Cooley, there's a car underneath there somewhere. Connor Dando dodges it there on turn 4. He's going for the win, I think. Oh my goodness me, this is brilliant. The bank holiday crowd absolutely loving this. Paul Manning's still in second place. Michaela Teal is still going. I think we've lost the Toyota Previa. That's gone out of the race. We lost Ian Bishop early on when his Caravan came off altogether at the start of the race. The towing hitch failing there. Goodness me. So Connor Dando out front there. Looks like he is going to take the win in our Caravan race. Drives over the wreckage again. There's the Previa. That's come to a stop on turn 2. And Connor Dando is going to take the win here He's going for that Caravan at turn 3. He's taken the win in the race. There we go. Oh, he doesn't quite go through it. I think he hit the tow bar there on the front of that Caravan, but he's won the race. Connor Dando has taken the win. Well done to him. Back to normality then. We check out the grading points while Stuart Smith way ahead as expected of the Wainmans in second and third. Craig Finnegan has climbed to fourth ahead of Nigel Green, with Matt Newson in sixth position, while in the world qualifying points it's still Dan Johnson 10 points ahead of Nigel Green, with Danny Wayman third. Stuart Smith creeping up though in fourth place ahead of Matt Newson and the current world champion Frankie Wayman. That's about all from here at Belleview then. Thank you very much indeed for watching. Join us for more stock car racing soon. Goodbye for now.